Hello, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you on this very wet and dreary Friday morning here in the Mid Atlantic. No work today. It's raining. So, which means tomorrow is going to be an even bigger mess for me. Anyways, by now everybody knows what happened in Texas and over this past week. And we need to be praying for each and every one of the families that lost those precious, beautiful young children. Folks, people are trying to scramble for an answer as to why. And of course, we got so many trying to score political points off of an absolute tragedy. And it really disgusts me that people like Obama and Beto O'Rourke and AOC and even Nancy Pelosi are trying to just score political points for their side. Every time we have a tragedy in this country, bar none, we have politicians standing up trying to score points, and it just disgusts me. I don't have an answer as to why a young boy at that age that he was would go in and brutally murder those precious young children, other than the fact that we live in a wicked, sinful world, as you all know. I don't have to tell you this. I've quoted this scripture many times in the past: as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be with the second coming of the Son of Man. I have quoted that I don't know how many times, because it just keeps coming into play. That scripture is exactly right. We are living in the days of Noah, where men were wicked to one another. They were evil. Men had become so corrupt in their ways and full of greed and full of sin that God destroyed the earth. We know he flooded the earth, and Noah and his family, with 2 of every animal, survived. And that is what we are dealing with today. We are dealing with men's hearts that have become so full of hatred, so full of wickedness, that these are the types of things that occur. Now, I don't know much about this young man that did this horrible, horrible act. I don't know if he had a past of mental illness. I just don't know. Okay, and I don't want to sit here and speculate like so many on the internet here over the last week has done nothing but speculate. And like I said, these politicians pointing fingers and blaming. I even heard one blame or try to tie it into the Christians or the pro-life people going against abortion, and this is why we need abortion. I even heard of a politician, and one was Obama, who correlated why we need abortion. This is why we need abortion in America, to remain legal. Now, I don't know how on earth somebody can correlate that with a man going into an elementary school and killing children, other than the fact that in some people's minds, they are so warped and they're so just wrapped up in their ideology that they put aside any common sense that they might already have. They put that aside and go full party politics and try, like I said, try to score political points off the backs of these poor little children that were killed in a brutal manner. It will never cease to amaze me at how low people can go in this country, especially our so-called elected representatives that supposedly represent the people in Washington, D.C., but it's not how it is, folks. They represent themselves and their best interest. The only time they pretend to represent the people is when it comes to elections. Then they get out and say everything you want to hear and promise everything under the moon and the sun and the stars and everything else, just to get you to pull that little thing in the voting booth for them. And folks, this has nothing to do with party politics. This has nothing to do with any of that. we absolutely need to continue to pray for this nation, because this is the kind of stuff that happens when you live in a country that has turned its back on God like America has. Okay, these are the types of things that occur. I mean, it's true. And I can hear people right now saying, I can hear it in my head right now saying, well, you're doing the same thing. You're trying to score points for Christianity. I'm not trying to score points for anything. God knows all. God is the Alpha and the Omega. Okay, I don't need to score points for God or his son, Jesus Christ, in any manner. They don't need me to score points for them. So I can already hear people, and that's one of the reasons why I keep my comments off, because I don't want to hear a bunch of profanity slinging back at me, which is why I turned it off to begin with. This is what we're going to deal with, folks. How many of these have we had? I think the first major one started in Columbine in 1999. I believe that was the first real, school shooting, mass shooting, whatever you want to call it. And then it's just trickled on down from there. And, who's to say if that never happened in 1999, would these other ones have occurred? I cannot answer questions like that. All I know is this nation needs to get back to God. This nation needs to get on its knees and ask for forgiveness, folks, because this is the type of stuff that's going to continue to happen when you have wickedness abound, when you have sin and wickedness woven into your society, into your civilization. And we do, folks. We used to be a godly nation. Remember, this nation was started, with men that believed in God. This nation was started with men that believed in the Bible. Oh, how far we've gotten from that. How far have we gotten from that? We've gotten so far from it now, you won't hear a politician that is worth his grain of salt, he or she, that will say we need to pray for this nation. They won't do it. They will not do it. They won't do it for the fear of a backlash. Oh my. Now they're taking God's side. Now they're taking the Christian. It's not taking anybody's side, but that's what the backlash would be. And that's why these people fear coming out and saying we need to pray for this nation. This nation is nothing but division. It's nothing but dividing us into our own little groups. Black, white, gay, straight, left, right, liberal, conservative. It's just on and on and on and on. They have to separate us into little groups, because when they can separate, they can control much better. Jesus says, a house divided against itself will not stand. Well, folks, this nation that's divided against itself, guess what? It's not going to stand. It's not going to be able to maintain what is going on. With everything that's going on, this nation is not going to be able to maintain any semblance of sanity in any way. It's not. And that's why you, me, and everyone that watches this video needs to stay close with the Lord, folks. I'm telling you, we are at the end. I'm telling you, I had those visions when I was in the hospital. I know what I saw. I know what God brought into my mind. I know how real they were. And I know they're lining up with things that are going on today in the United States. And not only that, around the globe. Things that are going on around the globe, folks. We are absolutely at the end of time. And if we don't start praying and really praying and seeking the Lord and humbling ourselves, folks, it's just going to spiral out of complete control, and insanity will rule the day. We're almost there now. We are almost there now. Please pray for those families in Texas. Please, folks. I know you already have. I don't even have to ask, but just say a prayer for each and every one of them. And you know what? Pray for the people in Washington, D.C. Pray that God shows them that it's not about political affiliation. It's not about scoring political points for your side or that side or this or that. It's not about that. It's about this nation coming together under God. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So as much as I rail on our politicians, and I do rail on them, I admit it, I do, because they just do some of the most asinine things I cannot understand. But I also pray for them. I pray that God gives them the wisdom to do the right thing, and that's what we all should be praying for. God bless each and every one of you. Have a good start to your weekend, and I hope the weather's better wherever you're at in this big, beautiful world of ours. God bless you. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.